Welcome to our episode of the Future Leaders podcast. Today we have Dr. Vanishri as our guest. So welcome her. Of MBA and PG MPA, what does this combination actually delivers?
Okay. As you know that MBA is like after graduation, MBA is like a core transformation from the graduation to the post-graduation. Any student who has done the graduation and they need to go for higher education, and that is completely post-graduation program, which will be having the maximum transformation from the students. So here we have added as we are having the autonomous entity, and we have been affiliation to the Rani Channamma University, and which has been regulating by the AICT norms. So here we have the advantage as an autonomous body. We have having the advantage where we can have the post-graduation program in PGPM. It is nothing but an industry integrated program. So what exactly MBA means? MBA is having the four combination, that is HR, finance, marketing, and business analytics, which is running under AS Patil College of Commerce, School of Business Studies, which even the BBA as well as the MBA students will be learning that things. But the right now the students step is not like HR, finance, marketing, or business analytics. Other than that, they require the industry requirement where college to the corporate gate should be there. So we have added the postgraduate program in the management where the student will be enhancing first semester students. They will be having the professional skill development, which includes the communication, public speaking, confidence building activities, which will be doing that one. And second semester, we are doing the pre-placement activities, which one certification, which is the need of an R or need of of the industry. So third semester, we will be doing the supply chain management or logistic as of now. But it may change when the requirement of the market will be having the different thing. As we are having the autonomous body, we can change accordingly. So here we are having that one. And fourth semester, our students are ready for an industry. So MBA students will be 3 semesters. They will be in the campus where they will be learning regular MBA with a specialization of HR, finance, marketing, and business analytics. Along with that, they will be having the postgraduate program in management, which will be having the cherry on the cake, which is readily for the industry, which will be having the continuous examination policy, semester and examination policies, everything we are having for that student can be ready for the industry. So our motto is to get the student ready for an industry. For that, we are doing it. And final semester, our students will not be here and they will be in the corporate where they will be doing the internship over there. So which will be adding the benefit for the students. Hope I have cleared, Sonia.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. How does dynamic curriculum and real world alignment look in the practice within the classroom?
Yeah. As you said that we are bringing the classroom, we are bringing the industry to the classroom. As I said that we are doing the PGPM program, which is itself is an industry integrated program. And one more thing I want to add again and again, that as we are having the autonomous body, so exams, the syllabus what we have fixed, at least we should run for 3 years or 2 years as per the regulation of the university. But wherein the PGPM, we are not having that one. That is an academic or the dynamic way where we are building up for the industry requirement. And we will be changing as and when there is a requirement of an industry. So as and when any requirement or any upskilling will be there. For example, recently, digital marketing, we are saying so much. Now, with the digital marketing, with the AI, we are supposed to learn. So as and when there will be any upgradation of the requirement of the need of the requirement will be there for the industry, we will be changing the curriculum accordingly for only the PGPM. Okay,
ma'am. How does BLD handle its faculty mix to support the dual track?
Yeah, my faculty members are the biggest pillar for my institution. So as we are having the we are having the faculties coming from the numerous specialization. For example, HR we are having, finance we are having, and we are having marketing, and we are having the business analytics. So I'll be coming to their background, as few staff are there. They are coming from BCom plus BBA, plus they are doing the MBA with a finance specialization, and along with that, some of the staff has done the MCom, which will be enriching our finance specialization. Coming to the HR specialization where we are having the rich faculties who can handle the requirement of the of the corporate, where we are having the particular person who comes from BSc background plus MBA. So where they were knowing the industry requirement as well. And coming to the marketing things, where we are having the person from the MSc agriculture we are having, then they have done MBA. So they can handle the agri as well as the marketing requirement. Also, they can deal it. So we are having that area also. Coming to the business analyticals, we are blessed with the two staff who has done their engineering plus MBA. So they are technically strong in business analyticals, plus they will be dealing with a regular subject as well. So this is how our faculty members are having the filling the gaps of all the things. So I think my faculty members are the biggest strength of the institution, where they will be helping the student to nourish their future requirement.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. How does practical approach must change the student-teacher dynamic quite a bit, especially rural or non-business background in North Karnataka?
Yeah, of course, once coming to the rural background, as India itself is called as a village country or rural country, we are still having the rural background over here. Of course, compared to other all places in Karnataka, our Bijapur is having the rural background. People, a lot of people will be coming from the rural background. So coming to second thing is one more is business background. Also, we are getting a lot of people. So there are two things what we are going to do. The person who is coming from the rural background, their knowledge will be excellent. But only the thing is their confidence and communication we need to scale up. And we are working on it, and we will be 100% sure that we will be going to do that. Second thing is, as the Bijapur district where we are seeing it, a lot of people are coming from the family business background also. In the PGPM, we are planning to give one family business oriented specialization as well. So this will be helping the students to reach. They will not be away from the home. They will be inside the Bijapur only, and they will be doing their MBA relevant to their field area, where they can help their parents or the first generation, second generation, and right now the Gen Z, I'll be saying that they are the third generation carrying out the business. So that will be helping them to upscale their businesses in that area.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. What experience is required outside the classroom to study corporate strategy and true business in the roadmap of the 2 years of BLD?
Yeah, that's what, like I have already explained you over my curriculum. So here, as you said, that we are having the corporate experience is required for especially the backward area. I'll not say backward area. We are also coming up to that scale. So as we will be seeing that all things we are still. I'll say that true education, that is nothing but a value-based education, is there in only the places like Bijapur, places like Bagalkot, places like Hubli, Dharwad. Because right now we see the people coming from the Bangalore or any other place, they are having the value-based education. But here the connecting to the roots, for especially in our region. So here value-based education is more. So I feel this will be one thing where we can have the exposure, because right now the industry say, if you don't have knowledge also, we are ready. If you don't have skill also, we can upskill the things. But attitude of the right people is not having the to make the employee to work, means we are not able to take them forever. But in this area, I feel this value-based education is there, that itself as an industrial need. Right now, even the AICT also made Indian ethos, universal human values, as compulsory subject. Why it is so? Because it is missing in the industry. Lot of confidential things is going out of the industry, and people are not maintaining the transparency in that one. So I feel that area we can do it. Coming to your things, we are having the lot of practical classes right now. We'll be taking lot of events we will be organizing, and we will be having the curriculum as well as extra curriculum activities we are planning to organize over here. Like we are planning to have the campus trade fair, we are planning the stock market, NSE kind of things over here only. And one more thing is coming to the point about the things is, students will be having the earn while learn scheme also, we are planning to implement over here, which itself is give the practical exposure for the students.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. How do you maintain a consistent pulse of the corporate world throughout the year?
Yeah, see, corporate world pulses will be changing as and when it is requirement. As you know that technology has already, industry 2.0 has come already. So industries or the, what you say, like requirement of the industry is changing. Not even I'll say yearly basis, every month it is changing. Every day, if you read the newspaper, you will be seeing the downsizing and all, because of we are not able to meet the pressure of people are not able to handle that particular pressure over there. So we will be planning according to that, so that the student will be having the consistent performance over here.
I win every single